and many other books, the Bible is indeed a very good book. It's very hard to contribute it. You can see, well, if you want to get to every book, my idea is that there are so many films made on the Bible, but they cannot compete the original. All of them are second-rate or third-rate films. The original is far better. This is one thing. But the other hand, Italy is a Catholic country in which people were not encouraged to read the Bible. Truly not, for many years not. Now Jews who were encouraged to read the Bible don't. Why they don't, I don't know really. But basically, we had surely a great part of the crowd that is Jewish. And you know, a Jew, in modern times, and older times, knows everything. So instead of studying something, he knows it. So I can speak about the Bible without knowing it. I can preach the Bible without knowing it. It's very easy for a Jew. You just make a statement. And everybody, what can you do about it? So that is what I'm saying. Because of these two different populations, I really recommend reading the Bible. As I tell you, it's a very good book. Some parts of it are fascinating. They are in first-rate language and so on. So the book of Daniel deals with the same problem. And it speaks about the two parts of parables. You can find them, you see. I recommend to people who are going to travel. You know, in many hotels, if you don't want to buy a book of the Bible, you can find in many hotels. You have your own Bible, so you can use that. If you can sleep at night in the hotel, say, you read a few chapters of the Bible. It will help you to sleep and it will help you to enlarge your mind. It's a combination of you can find it in the book of Daniel. It speaks about the golden age in two different ways. It's from the book of Daniel two ways. One in which he speaks. Daniel speaks to the king of Babylonia, to the Nebuchadnezzar. He says to him, you are the head of eye of gold. And then comes another generation is our Lord and Lord. Now, his description about the world, about the history of the book, more or less to the end of the book, is interesting description. It says, in fact, it says, it will be an age of silver, an age of brass, an age of iron, and then the feet of the idol, which it speaks about history. The feet of the idol are made of a combination of iron and dirt, which is a much better combination. Actually, a way of expressing what we are living in. We are not living in iron time. We are not living in a time of heroism in which iron is a revolution. We live in a combination of iron and dirt combined together, which is the dirt appears in the newspapers, in television, in many other places, and also in the lives of politics. I don't want to speak to mention a word about Italian politics, but politics in general is iron mixed with dirt. The iron is the power of the country, and the dirt is what the country does. Anyway, that's another point. The main differences, and I'm speaking about it just to be as short as I can. See the difference, this notion about the way of history as beginning from a high peak and going down. It is not revolutionary, just the opposite. It means the world is going in a kind of regression. And this kind of regression means the world is becoming worse and worse every generation. So we should always say that the time, as many of you are, some older people, and some people do know older people, they will tell you, in my own times, you don't know how it was. The people were nice. The fathers were so beautiful, were heroic. The mothers were beautiful. The grandmothers were nice and merciful. But look at our time, what time we are living. Now, incidentally, the it's a nice piece of history. There is a letter that a person writes to his son, and he speaks about the good times in the past and the times of the present. They look at the young people. All of them are disobedient. They are wild. They don't do what they have to do. They are promiscuous. All kind of things. It says, what can we do about that? It's an interesting letter, very well written. It was written 4,000 years ago in Egypt. So you see, 4,000 years ago, the fathers already wrote these letters about the bad times and the wrong tea and the wrong children. So it seems that we are going to do it even in the future. But anyway, this notion of the creation of history is found all over the world. In the book of Daniel, there is a beginning of something else, which is interesting and important. It says that after the world is created to a certain point, there will be a revolution, and the world will turn back, which means the golden age is not only in the past, the golden age is in the future. I don't want to speak more about it, because it's not my subject, but let me just say a few words about it, which is, I made many years ago, the relationship between Moses, our leader, our teacher, Moses, and Mao Zedong. And I showed, I don't want to be too details about it, but I could give you a nice lecture about the point, which is that Moses created the notion that after the day's history, there's a declaration that is also redemption. Now, the point, the notion of redemption is in a funny way. It's not only the basis of Christianity on one hand, or Islam on the other hand, and even some Buddhistic and Brahmin forms. But you see, the basic notion of this, which is found in the book of Daniel, is found also in the writing of Karl Marx. See, Marxism is basically this view of history, not in a way, not a society, Hegelian way of doing things, but it is a redemption. It goes down and down, and then there's necessarily uplift, and the future will be always open. Now, it's interesting because this relationship is that modern revolutionary movements are really based on the same notion of Daniel. They are not based on ancient Hesiod's stories, or not mentioned, not on the Nibelungen story, but they possibly read the Bible sometime and were influenced by the Bible in creating the world in which we see, I would say, at least about many of the young people, many of the young people, at least dream to be revolutionaries, to make the world better than it was before. Now, this notion in itself, that it can be done, that it can be reversed, that the Iron Age can change into a different way. It's very different. I can tell you as a person that was formerly doing physics, that we now have all the means of changing iron into gold. We can do it practically, not with alchemy, but we can do it practically. It is just the point is so expensive to do. It's better to find gold as it is, but we can turn anything into gold if you put enough money in it, or enough, if we have enough energy. So the notion of changing the situation is different. So that's about history. It's also about what we are talking about. Look, we are not trying to put sermons, but we're trying to speak about situations in the present, and we are allowed to say things about the present, and to say things not only about the present, but about what can be done that you should take pity, be generous, be polite, be all other things to the foreigner, because you were yourself, you were foreigners, you were foreigners in the land, and you know how a strange person feels. Now, in a way, if you are taking it, because this notion is mentioned not once in the Torah, it is mentioned several times, the notion that you remember that you were slaves. Now, let me just put one point about it, which is interesting, at least for some of us. Most nations don't want to show themselves this point of shame in the past. We don't want to show that we were slaves. We want basically to show that we were powerful, we were great, we were emperors, we were rulers. Even the fact that you have it in the Torah several times, you should remember that you were slaves. It is not against anything, against freedom, but it is something which is really very clear to remember that we are claiming to be autochthonic people in any land. We didn't really belong to any country. So we are foreigners. We are foreigners even getting into another country. So it's a handicap, and we came and we try to carry it with courage, and we try to carry it with understanding. So one of the points there is you is all people. You they were slaves in the past. You should understand what it means to be a slave in the present. You should understand it. And I would say to speak to Jews, not in this time in this country, but to speak about the Jews in the last 1,000 years in Europe. We as Jews were accustomed to get despised, to be hated. You see, the stories, I don't know if they are common in Italy, but I heard a nice story about it from a lady that was studying in England. She said she came as a little girl to a private school in England. And she was about 10. And then when the other girls found that she's Jewish, you know what the other girls did? They didn't beat her up. They just came to touch her hair on her head. Why? Because they were sure that Jews have bones. And so they wanted to see how these little bones are growing. I'm speaking about this century, the last century, and about England, London, England, not about some God-forsaken hole in southern Italy, but I'm speaking about them. So that if you have, the people think about you, that you have bones, possibly also tails. I don't know, I didn't talk enough with enough people, but the idea that Jews possibly have tails is a common idea. So we have tails, and we are despised, and we spit on. It was in Toulouse, France, it was that Provence, and there was a custom that every year on Easter, the rabbi of the town would go to the bishop. And the first thing was he would come to the bishop would slap him twice on his face, and that was the beginning of the ceremony. So this was our life. You take the chief rabbi, not sure of Milano today, nobody will be there to slap him, but they were taking the chief rabbi and slapping him. So this was the way of our life. So basically, we should understand what it means to be despised, what it means to be kicked. A person that was never kicked doesn't perhaps understand it. But we were, generally speaking, kicked in most places in the world, by Muslims, by Christians, and also other people. We were kicked. And we began with that because we were slaves in Egypt. We were also kicked and despised. And sometimes killed just for fun. It wasn't very serious, but from time to time you killed a Jew just because it was a nice idea, an easy idea. Now, We should understand. Now, let me just put it. This is not a simple thing. It is written in the Torah that we should understand. Do we? Now, it's a problem that we have as people to deal with in many times. Not only those who were always the oppressors, the predators, but even people that were downtrodden. Are they, by definition, nicer than others? We came to the point in which, you see, we know that lions are predatory animals, and tiger is a horrible thing. But basically, if you have, and just give you an example, you can check, if you don't believe it, see, chickens, when they are close together, are dangerous animals to each other. They're not dangerous to us. When one chicken is wounded, the other chickens will kill it. Why? Because it's fun. Incidentally, we have some books writing about it, not by ethnologists, by people who deal with animal behavior, that even weak animals, perhaps more than weaker animals have the tendency, much more than stronger animals. When they have the ability, they have the same amount of quality. So it doesn't save you more, your morality, that you were once kicked, or you were once killed. It means that, okay, you remember, but still you want to kick. See, there's a poem by Heinrich Heine, who writes about Esau and Jacob. That Jacob says to Esau, now, for hundreds of years you kicked me, for hundreds of years you stabbed me. Can you not change your laws? Let me once be the kicker. Let me once be the one that kicks you. How do we do like this speech? And the point is that that's a great poem. It's a reborn for Jews. Unfortunately, I would love to have a situation in which every Jewish person is just a fountain of understanding, of solidarity, and of friendship. Unluckily, we are all kinds of people. Some of us, indeed, holy people and wonderful people. Some of us are, well, we have a long way to go to become better. I know that it's not easy to say in the synagogue, sure enough, before the high holidays. So the rabbi in the synagogue should tell the people that you are all nice, you are wonderful, you are sweet, and so on. As I said, because my first name is Jacob, I tell you what it is. The point is that people, many of the people in the country of the synagogues in the high holidays should be kicked in their behinds, if you can do it. Now, the rabbi doesn't have enough legs to do it, so he can't do it properly. But basically, that is what we have to do. So we have to speak not only about others and about other people, but we have to speak also about ourselves, our own situation as we are. Let me just put one or two points, because I'm sorry, I'm accustomed to make speeches in the style of Fidel Castro. 6 hour, 8 hour speeches. Now the problem about having it done is that Fidel Castro not only made 8 hour speeches, he had a number of guards that keep people from that they won't escape. So they have to give the whole lecture. I don't have enough police here, so I can't do a 6 hour speech. This is just point to one word. The problem about the Registrazione. I'm just, let me just put one or two points. First of all, there's one question. It is, everybody is nice about it when somebody else is suffering. And that is, we are, which is a great part of Western Europe, and America, United States, and Canada, and in a funny way, even Israel. flooded by huge amount of immigration. Now, we cannot, you see, we can't close our eyes, especially if I live in a place where I don't see the new immigrants, but they're coming. They're coming, as you know, also you read in the papers, with the story about a little bear that was killed in Italy. I heard that this is a very popular story now in the journals of television that a little bear was killed. But if you read in the same newspaper, you can read about boats full of people that are drowned on the way to Italy. Who are these people? They are foreigners, real foreigners, immigrants that come here. They don't come here because they love, not Italy or they love Israel. They come because they want to get a higher level of life. They usually don't really flee from political problems, but they want to have a nicer way of life. And then, let me just say, we as Jews, people in general, in one way, we can and should really understand what happens to a person who lives in Africa when he has possibly an income, a monthly income of say of $50 per month. When he hears about cases in which most of the people pay as a daily earning, or surely as a daily earning. So people dream all over the world about as they used to do in North America, the pavements of New York are made from gold. They are not made from gold, but still people clean them. Now, it happened to Italians in time. It happens to many other people, but it is now a flood. Now, the real question is then, and I'm not going to give answers. It's not too short a time, but basically, we are in a situation in which we have to understand that people are coming. They are encroaching our territories, whether they are similar or not similar. It doesn't really matter. Whether it's sometimes easier to discriminate black people, but they can be also white or yellow or whatever form you want. They are foreigners and they are coming here to take some of the money of our own workers. They will try to take other things that we have. And as similar as they are, we are different, living a very different culture, a different structure of culture, and that has been destroyed. So I have a friend who is a very important justice in America, who is an Italian. He says, well, it seems that Italy will become a Muslim country in 30 years' time. I'm not sure that it will happen. Things are happening all over the world, and they are happening. The real point is, let me just put one Jewish point, in order not to speak just in generalities. One of the Jewish points of thinking is, based on that, we try to do justice. Justice is not mercy, but justice is not harshness. Justice is a complex, very complicated process of trying to take different things, different considerations, and to put them together. That's one of the hardest things to do justice, to be merciful, especially at the expense of others, or to be harsh, which is surely at the expense of others. That is easy. To try to do justice, to try to calculate two different forms, the problems on both sides. This is the hardest thing to do. And it's a great thing that you see, you have it here, there, in all places. It is, some of the new immigrants are causes of a huge amount of damage, directly and indirectly. On the other hand, there are poor people coming to find a little piece of bread. second cheek, the other cheek. That you just accept the technique that is practical. I don't see many Christians, including, say, priests and popes and others, that try to give the second cheek many times. I don't see many instances of it. I'm speaking about something else. See, I think basically the notion of giving the second cheek is not only not practical, but it's basically immoral. Because one of the things is, if there is somebody that has to slap me, let him slap me twice or 10 times. If he doesn't have the right to slap me, I shouldn't allow him for the first time, and I should respond. So I don't think that giving the second cheek is a morally superior response. It is not. But on the other hand, we have a problem. We have a problem. And we have to see, how do we do? There's something like self-defense in many different ways. There's a problem about how do we do with all kinds of things that we have, and some of them are rightly ours. And the problems and the silence of others. There is no good answer, not really the answer to get answer. Once when I used to be in mathematics, I knew it's much easier to find a good solution for a mathematical equation in the second degree, and the third degree, and any degree, than to find a good solution to a human problem. Human problems are far more complex, far more complicated, almost than anything in mathematics. So, but we are facing them all the time, and we should, what I'm just saying is not, I'm not giving a solution, I'm just saying, we are to understand what it means to suffer. We are to understand what it means to be hungry. We are to understand what it means that people are kicking me from one country to another. But we also have to understand that there are problems in it. It's not easy. It's not, you can't answer one way. You can be flooded by others, not because they're foreigners, but because there are others, but because we can't sustain it. Now, all these things, considering these things, is what I'm saying, what the Torah says. Just finish with it, so you can rest. You should do what is right and just and good. Now, to do what is good is easy sometimes. To do what is just, what is right is also. But to do these things together, to do the right and the good. So we are always facing this dilemma. This is just the right time before the high holidays to think about it. I don't know if anybody will find a complete solution, but to think about the dilemma, which is, see, yeah, you have some people here who are parents, suppose, or were parents, or will be parents. See, sometimes it's the same problem. I have a little child at home, and the child is misbehaving. What should I do? Should I say, my love, I love you, you never get punished. Or I tell you, I put you on my knee and spank you. So the problem is not only what is easier for the parents, but also what is better for the child. See, to be spanked or to be kissed. So we have this problem all over the life. So I'm giving you not with a good answer. I'm giving you with what I think is clear pedagogic way. I'm giving you, I pose the question, and I give you the question, and you should think about it for the next day, next few years. And if you come to a solution, always